I welcome once again all the participants here in the community organization, the sixth week of this paper. In this journey, we have discussed so much regarding the community work, community development, and now we have started talking about the community organization. Here in the second session, we are going to discuss about the philosophy, objectives, and so on and so forth. Let's talk about the philosophy of community organization. The fundamental aspect of community organization is the principle of cooperative spirit that we have already discussed in the last time in the definition, which promotes the people to unite together to address the common issues. Community organization recognizes the spirit of democratic values and principle with the focus of creating democratic involvement. Organizing is about empowering. Organizing is about empowering. This is what the fundamental philosophy of a community organization. So when people unite together to get involved in community organization, they develop the kind of the confidence. This empowerment comes from people's learned skills, to help themselves and others, and they develop the collective actions that help in the community building. And so this developing this capacity overall by everyone's actually together develop the community resilience and community power. All right, in a more positive sense. The community organization recognizes the power of individuals. It believes that through the collective strength of the people, better teamwork and adaptation of the scientific method can provide comprehensive solution to social problem. So this is philosophy is again very beautiful. That talks about that community organization recognizing the power of individual. It believes that an assumption is also that people want change and can change. This means that we actually recognize the power in the humans. There are the power in every individual within a community, right? So it believes that through the collective strength of these people who is having the power, right? Believing in that every individual is having the power. So collecting all this power together, so better teamwork and adaptation of scientific method. No haphazard thing. Things should be very planned manner, planning. Planning is very important part of a community organization, right? So through some scientific planning, scientific methods, so can provide the comprehensive solutions to the social problems. See, so how beautiful this is all explanation, right? So every individual is having the power, coming together, all this power, develop a greater power. So only needs to organize them scientifically, train them, plan them, and then providing the space to work and giving the kind of positivity, giving some kind of the dream that you can do that. That is what the social worker can do, right? And by believing into that power, the power in the committees, the power in the humans' ability or the individual's ability. Coordination is concerned with the adjustment and interrelationship of the forces in the community life for common welfare. So this is another coordination is taken as very important philosophy of the community organization. So coordination is concerned with adjustment. So many a time, like if you try to make coordinate with two different sets of the community, but they are not coming together. So that's what you have to do the conflict management things and all. So bringing them together and putting them in some kind of the common space. So adjustment is then providing them the kind of the adjustment. So adjustment and this interrelationship actually giving the kind of the common value system, and then the community would actually strive for the better welfare for their own. Community organization is therefore a continuous process in which adjustments are made and remade to keep pace with the changing condition of community life. So it's a continuous process. Sometimes like you go with some kind of the adjustment, you have to give some kind of the changes into or the committee has bring some kind of the changes by their own through their own struggle, through their own capacity, with the help of some agency or some community organizers. But again, it's a requirement that again the supra system has asked for something different. So readjusting another time. So that is what the sustainability and resilience is of the community. If the community members they themselves has developed the kind of capacity, right? So this because if they help themselves, they develop this kind of the capacity. So in future also, for someone is not from the external side to support them, they would all they will actually the committee is after developing the kind of the capacity and then empower, they can strive and they can survive for better, right? Assumptions, if you're coming to the assumptions part, so assumptions and proposition, the community organization. The practice of community organization is based on certain assumptions and prepositions which were derived from ideological background and value orientation of community organizing, right? And what is that value orientation? Either democracy, participation, belonging and all. So Ross enumerates the following assumptions of the community organization. So, for very first assumption is that communities of people can develop capacity to deal with their own problem. So, this is what that one philosophy we have talked about, that member is having the capacity to deal with their own problem, right? So that only they need a kind of the guidance and support, or the kind of direction they needed. Okay. Then people want change and can change. Particularly, I do like this assumption so much, and it gives a lot of the hope, lots of the hope, because many times while working actually in the community, many believe that many times it happened that okay, they don't listen to me, they don't coming to them, and they don't understand for what reasons they are. It happened many times, it happened. So but always go with this kind of the assumption, people want change and can change, is only to hit that part which actually make them sensitize and to make them understand ki what is important for them, right? So people want change and can change. Somewhere every community want to change, right? And can change means they have the power to change. Okay. So this implies that communities of people constantly change their ways of life and interested in making their own lives better. So this is what the fundamental philosophy, assumption, that every community want. You go to a community and ask the problem. They say, "Okay, we don't have the electricity, we don't have the road." So because usually these are kind of the problems they always come with, but they actually don't realize the hidden factors, and many times hidden needs they actually required. So that is another whole topic to be discussed. But here means that community has always want change in their community, a positive change in their community. Okay. Then people should participate in making, adjusting, or controlling the major changes taking place in their own communities. So this assumption implies that people should have the opportunities to organize to achieve their own common goals, plan the adjustment, which must be make the responsible. This again assumptions is the same assumptions talks about that the community having the ability, so they can providing the space to them, the providing the chance to them to participate in their own problem identification and solution. So they will definitely come forward and they will strive. Then change in the community living, which are self-imposed or self-developed, have a meaning and permanence that imposed change do not have in the community. So any changes in community living which are self-imposed means once they get realized and they would participate, they actually realize that okay, this particular problem we have, now we understand this is the problem, we have to solve this problem, and we actually want to resolve this problem. So they will actually will participate, they will work more positively, more productively into that kind of the problem solution on that program. But in any program or policies which is by being superimposed or being imposed by some other agencies or outer parts or outer agencies or outer environment, so usually they don't like much. This is again very important assumptions. So if you're going with some programs and policy, definitely is from the outside, so you just have to giving the space. So once they get realized that this particular program is their own, so that is again is about the bottom up approach, and they would that kind of the program is more successful. Community organization is a holistic approach, can deal successfully with problem with which a fragmented approach cannot cope. So this is holistic approach. Means that as a problem is so much interwoven and interconnected, so always goes some kind of the holistic approach. So usually community organization more believing in the holistic approach. Many time, as I have already discussed, that casework and even the group work is also complementary to the community organization, and it is also, as it is a social development concern for the social development, so taking every aspect of the community's development together, right? Or taking every part of the community into the loop of the development is important without excluding anyone. So more than fragmented approach, holistic approach is more considered to be better for the community organization. Democracy requires cooperative participation and action in the affairs of the committee, and that people must learn the skill which make the possible. So democracy actually requires the cooperative participation. That is, in the democracy and true democracy, if there is no participation, we cannot think for a actual and true kind of the democracy, right? So in for the committee organization, this is a very fundamental philosophy as well as the assumption that democracy actually requires cooperative participation. So if you want to go with a democratic program or democratic approach, you have to take the cooperation and participation of the committee. Frequently, committees of people need help in organizing to deal with their needs, just as many individuals require help in coping with the individual's problem. So definitely, they have the capacity to resolve their own. They have all the kind of the strength, but only the kind of the little support system they require. So that little is by the committee organizer they can do, right? So now the basic assumption, if you summarize all those, is that communities are capable of change. The very, very beautiful assumption is that so committee are capable of change because they have all the committees are not static and entities but are capable of adapting and evolving. So taking the example of any, if you look into the any community, so you see that how the community has evolved and changed. So they have this capacity to evolve. They have this capacity to change, right, and to accept the change and to actually bring the equilibrium after the any kind of the disequilibrium. So it believes that possible, and that committees can create a better future for themselves, and committees have a inherent potential for change. And then committee organization acknowledges that residents have vulnerable knowledge and experience and valuable knowledge and experiences. Again, believing in individuals' capacity and believing that individual or indigenous people is having very valuable information, and you are going from outside, you may or may not have all those information, many times not actually. If particularly if you're working with the tribal community or scheduled caste community, many times you actually become so shocked that the kind of cultural thing, the kind of new ideas they the kind of the new value system, the new very very valuable knowledge they come with. So they are very actually very very unique and very important to learn about. So believing that community organization acknowledges the residents have valuable knowledges and then experiences, right? And we have to respect to their knowledge and then experiences. Collaboration is essential for achieving lasting change. Collaboration is the very important and integral part of community organization. So collaborating with any other agency, collaborating with the different groups of the community, collaborating with the different individuals of the community, collaborating with any maybe the international agencies if it is required, collaborating with any kind of a CBOs, that is committee based organization, or sometimes religious based organization even. So collaboration at all level in the community organization is important. So now coming to the objective of the community organization. So to bring adjustment between the resources available and felt needs of the community or people, community organization is rooted in the reform tradition of professional social work and such value of self-determination, self-sufficiency and empowerment and social justice. The other objectives of the community organization are as follows, as the Apuan has given and talk about the three different kind of the objective. First is to achieve effective power for the people so they can determine their own development and shape their own future. To achieve effective power for the people, so that you have to do, and then community determine their own development and shape their own future. So you support little and then provide a space so they can develop further, right? Then to establish and sustain relatively permanent organizational structure which best serve the people's needs. So to establish a sustain relatively permanent organization. By doing the community organization, sometime effective community organization actually relies on creating some structural such as the council, committee, organization, youth club, Mahila Mandal, that represent community interest and can address ongoing needs. These structures should be permanent and enough to provide assistance to, or consistent support to the resources even in the community needs to evolve, or many times if you are not there, so in that period of the time also, or the one program has been already shut down. But if the community is developing that kind of organizational the structure of the permanence in nature. So that is always a give a support system in their future. So and again, even at the time of the once you are there doing the community organization with the community member, developing those kind of the structure is so important, because that through that you can develop the kind of the connectivity, you develop the channel, coming together all the powers became actually the empowerment. Okay, to build or join alliances that are useful to the people. So a rural community facing limited access to healthcare many time creates a local health could be like develop a kind of the healthcare cooperatives, and you can also organize the health camps. So through all this through, I mean, if I take the example only the medical, so through all this kind of the health camps and then health cooperatives, community can resolve their issues around the health aspect. So to build or join alliances that are useful to the people, particularly the needs which they feel that is actually the concern for them. Maybe in a particular community, malaria or brain malaria is so common. So that time, that community has to actually join some kind of alliances. So, for I do remember in some community in the tribal community in the Jharkhand, so brain malaria was so common. So there, the even the government has initiated a lot of the programs. Even that was not sufficient. So that few organization and NGOs has also come forward to support them, and then these kind of the joint alliances by the community with those agencies was so important to help them out to reduce the issues of the health. According to the Encyclopedia of Social Work, so these are some of the important objectives of the community organization, like improving the quality of life, for sure. Advocacy services, that is the counseling, motivation, and guidance is required. Human, social, and economic development in totality, it's more about the holistic aspect. Then services and program planning, as in the once we discussed about the community development and community organization, the difference between. So here we have discussed that community organization is mainly concerned about the program planning rather than program management. So program planning is about taking the community members together while developing any kind of the program. So planning with the community members. So services and program planning with the community members is another very important objective of community organization. Service integration, that integration is the fundamental of community organization. So any kind of the services that need to integrate maybe in the community rural areas, so PRI is or the, if take the example again of the health, so health aspect of the PRI is, and then ANM under the NRHA program, the ANM, then ASHA. If any issue has been arise in particular community, so all comes together and actually integrate together to resolve that problem. Okay. Social and political actions, if it is required, social and political action is taken is important part, because conscientization and consciousness building is so important aspect of the community organization. Social justice is the fundamental of actually of the community work altogether. So to the community organization, bringing justice to every human's life is important objective of the community organization, because the major philosophy of the community work or the social worker in general is about the democracy, participation, social justice, human rights. Okay, so and so forth. As I just have to try to develop some kind of the objectives based on some philosophy and theory. As per the Paul Ferrero, raising critical consciousness is very fundamental objectives of the community organization. So this conscientization and consciousness, critical consciousness is important. One thing is sensitization, understanding this is their problem, these are the resources, you can have this, and why not you're having this, just try to get there. So this is through this, like just informing them. Then the conscious building, critical thinking, why this is not, they're not having the, how they can have to deal with. So critical thinking is so important, and this should be the important objective of the community organization. All right. As a Sherry Fiend has said that increasing citizen participation in decision making. So this is definitely many times we talk about that. And then asset based community development ABCD that we have already discussed. This is what the leveraging local strength and resources rather than more concerned about the needs and then problem. We also, one very important objective should be that we should have to work on the asset based community development, whatever the assets available in the community, just to mobilize them, sensitize them, further modify them, strengthen them for the betterment of the community in general, right? Then Jane Addams, according to Jane Addams, promoting social integration and mutual understanding. So these are not actually the direct objectives has been given by them, but I just have to sum up them as like the objective of the committee organization. So foster a sense of unity and mutual understanding across different committee groups to promote inclusivity and collective well-being. Adams believed that communities should work to bridge believes that communities should work to bridge social divides and create spaces where diverse groups can interact and understand each other's needs. So all these objectives actually reflect various approaches to community organization, focusing on aspects like empowerment, participation, social equality, equity, local resources, resource mobilization, ABCD approach. Each contribute to the actually building a resilient, self-sufficient, self-sustaining community capable of shaping their own future. Okay. There are some primary and secondary objectives of the community organization as well. To get information about the resources and needs, again, it's important. Until you don't have the information about the community needs, you will not be able to work there and to further mobilize the resources there in the community. To arouse the peoples to work for the welfare of the community. That is what the believing that every community member is having the capacity, and to conscientization and that conscious building development is important here. To create sound ground for planning and action. So that's creating a solid foundation for planning and then action ensures that efforts are systematic and sustainable. It should not be vague and no confusion. Everything should be very clear. Achievable means that the goal should be achievable, right? So you have to plan the programs with the community member to create a sense of cooperation, integration, and then unity among people. That's the fundamental of the community organization. To motivate the people to take better participation in developing community programs, to highlight the cause of various problems affecting the community and hinder the way of progress and development, to implement programs required for the fulfillment of people basic needs, to develop better understanding among the people about the issues and the needs, to mobilize resources to create a suitable ground for the basic needs, completing and then eradicating of the problem, to bring coordination between the individuals, groups, and then organization to focus their points and challenge their objectives for fulfillment, to launch necessary reforms in the community for eradication of community evils. That's mainly about the social action as well, because many times also required after the conscientization, consciousness building, the committee actually try to bring changes into some kind of the evil aspect of the community. But launching necessary reforms is vital for eradicating community evil. These reforms address understanding issues and promote positive change, improving the overall quality of life for community members. To develop democratic leadership among people through their participation in community program. So developing leadership is another very important objective of the community organization, because developing good leadership, maybe the leaders are already there, you just have to identify them, or sometimes you have to develop the new set of the leadership. So by any company is having good leaders, so it is always a better option for their survival and for the sustainability. To develop the idea of ability and better thinking to work for the betterment of the community, to organize the people for the promotion and progress of community, to abolish the difference among individuals, develop spirit of common interest, and sacrifice the also participate collectively in community progress means it's about the equity and equality. Removal of blocks to growth. So you just have to identify any kind of the blocks are there, or whether they are personal, group based, or any kind of the community based, any kind of the conflict is there. You try to resolve that and remove that blocks is another very important fundamental objective of the committee. development of capacity to manage one's own, making full use of inner resources, including skills, knowledge, and capacity of the committee members, right? And it ensures that available assets are effective, harness of the development. It's always better that if they actually tap and use their own resources available in their own community, increasing the ability to function as an integrated unit. Thank you so much. This is all about today's presentation. I hope you understand the basic idea of community organization, the difference between community organization and community development, the philosophy of community organization, and then the objective of the community organization. So these all are the important to understand, and for the coming sessions, then you could be better to understand the different models and then approaches once you understand the philosophical aspect and then objectives of the community organization in general. Thank you so much.